Right.
Righto, here we are, JB, at Malala Raceway.
Beautiful, cold.
Oh, well, it is South
Malala
Australia.
Raceway.
It is Malala Raceway in the 2015 Mustang.
Yes.
We're going to do some laps, just a bit of a walk through the car, as we would say.
It's got all these readouts here that you can scroll through, which gives you inlet air temperature, cylinder head temperature, oil temperature. It's got a fantastic array of information.
Yep.
Available to the driver. And I've got it in sport mode. This is left-hand drive, so it's American spec, which means it's a little bit more softly sprung than the Aussie spec ones will be, but it's a really impressive car. Like it feels a lot lighter than a Falcon, which it is. So it's interesting that you can actually feel that as a driver. I mean, weight is the enemy of any car. These are quite well weighted. They've gone to a lot of trouble to make them. You know, they're just around 1,600 kilograms, I think.
So less to get off the line and less to stop. So
yeah, so
and nicely balanced.
It also means the centre of gravity is low and it feels good and it handles well. It's got really nice brakes. Around this track, they've kept on stopping, which is not always the case with road cars.
So when your thoughts about the steering and when you turn it in, precise?
Yes, it's got really good steering. It's got a beautiful steering feel. It's well weighted. I mean, there's no question it's the best Mustang they've ever made by a really large margin. I've got the traction control off, so I might
that's good.
If it gets slippery in a minute, I might have to turn it back on again. It's got quite a good traction control system, which is not always the case either with cars. They intervene too much, and this one doesn't. It's quite good. And it's also in sport mode. It's got a throttle blipper, so I'm using the paddles on the steering wheel, which is very easy.
You were using the paddles, and
it accelerates really well. I believe it'll do a 12.6 standing 400 metres, which is
pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive for just straight off the showroom car.
Bit of handy wheel work there in the wet.
Tricky. Whoa!
I guess for the rest of us punters, that's a two-handed job.
Yeah, when you get a bit slidey like that, you need to put your other hand back on the steering wheel. But it's very easily controlled. It's actually, I always reckon a measure of a good car is when it makes the driver look good, and this makes the driver look good. Sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah, that sounds great sound. So we're busy having a chat. Up comes turn one when we weren't watching. Nice how you can drive it out on the slide off on the throttle and upshift off the paddles.
Yeah, it works really well. I mean, I was hoping to see that sort of throttle blipping thing and the good, nice, precise pedals and the last of the Falcons, but I'm not sure that we did. It's very safe. Feels safe. It's, you know, tells you good messages. It's easy to drive.
Predictable?
Yeah, very predictable.
Bit reminiscent of your 69 Mustang, the touring car Mustang, about the same, without the horsepower.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly handles better than the 69 Mustang. Whoa! Oh, shit! That's a slippery corner.
That's got lots on it, and the white stuff is particularly slippery.
Oh dear. Yeah, I mean, the older cars, you know, as much as I love them, they're nothing like as good as these new ones. And this is, you know, I've driven a 2013, 2014 Mustang. This is such a big step forward. I think you only have to read
independent rear now in the new car.
Yeah, well, it puts its power down really well. The old one had a live axle, which is, you know, went out with the Cobbett code.
Yep, F-Series truck type stuff.
F-Series truck, yeah. No, this is the first car first Mustang that Ford are going to make in right-hand drive factory form. So it's not converted by someone else. It's actually built in the factory. So it's, you know, it's a first, and it's a very good car.
So on the downshift into the turn, the paddles work better?
Yeah, they do.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, if I was going to buy one, depends on where I lived, I'd probably buy a manual, but this is the best of both worlds, really.
If you were going to buy one, where might that be?
Oh, I'd have to buy one at Sinclair Ford, mate.
I guess if you did, you'd get to be part of events and days like this.
Well, I mean, Sinclair Ford are the Ford performance dealer in the country, you know, so they're actually really good people. I've been involved with them since 2000 and, what was it, five, yes. Yeah.
Gold watch time?
Yeah, I nearly should. I wonder if I can get a gold watch. Yeah, I mean, they have a fantastic customer program where they look after in by events, you know, functions. Really, really good stuff. It's like no other Ford dealer, so it certainly does in Australia, and it's like very few Ford dealers throughout the world. This is really, I mean, it's a very impressive car. For the value for money, I don't think there's anything in the performance world anything like it. Anything like it. It's fast and it's sure-footed and it looks great and handles well, it stops well. This is great. I love this car.
I just happen to have an order form in my book, so you know, but maybe I can help you out with that. Pick a colour and I'll fix the rest.
Sinclair Ford.
That's it. .com.au.
You heard it from me.